Welcome to the System 7 Highlights. I'm Esper and we're going down to Orison, where we saw the competitors take place in Race 1. Track is Leisure Loop, and racers took the wheel behind the Grey Cat STV, where placement positions now earn them points to try and come out on top after 7 action-packed tracks. Racers started out on the second tee of the recreational platform and went for a total of 10 laps. And quickly, racers tried to make their way to the front of the pack before getting to the first fairway. Racers had to be careful not to bump each other off the platform, as a plummet on your own is scary enough and put almost half of our racers in the did not finish category. But making it through was Test Squadron with a time of 33 minutes and 38 seconds. When racers broke free of the pack, they sped down the straight of the courtyard, much like Amarok's Fang Racing, who put 12 points on the board with their 4th place finish, and also grabbing the fastest lap of the day at 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Team Tang finished 3rd with a time of 30 minutes and 28 seconds. Some racers were finding out why it's bad to get your golf ball stuck in the sand bunker, as they were suffering the same fate in their STV. However, Sanji-sama came through, giving Initial D 18 points for their 2nd place finish. But it was none other than the speedster himself, Neojet, who took the 25-point 1st place finish for his team Skyer Racing, putting Race 1 in the books. Then we moved on to Hurston, where competitors took on the track Dust Hustle. Racers had 12 laps in the Drake Mule to compete in this endurance race. The course was slick as racers took on the rain at night, making it extra hard to see what was in front of them. It showed coming into the first loop as racers collided, causing traffic for the oncoming competition. Wonder Corps Colonial had a steady lead on the pack after the first lap, but could they hold that for another 11? Racers didn't learn from their first trip around the loops and created quite a pileup. Now that's no way to shave seconds off your laps. And don't think that this little work truck doesn't have some horsepower, as racers were having a great time catching some air on the ramps. It was about halfway through this one when the top 3 racers made their way to the front of the pack, where they were fighting for position. And they wanted that photo finish ending as they crossed the finish line within seconds of each other. But ultimately it was Ricky Ticky bringing home another 25 points for Skyer Team Racing, with a total time of 39 minutes and 40 seconds, and also bringing home the fastest lap of the night at 3 minutes and 7 seconds, giving their team a commanding lead to start out this year's System 7. The racers traveled to Nix to take on the Levki Helix. This track had our racers flying around upside down in the Mirai Pulse LX, but once they figured out which right side was up, it ended up being a fast race. And Zero G's couldn't stop Gravity Cat, taking home another 15 points for their team with their 3rd place finish. Cruising through Levski's tunnels and placing 2nd was Endermaster with his 18-point finish. And taking home the 25 points was Gerbo the Gnome for Punch Gnomies with their 1st place finish and also having the fastest lap of the course. Then for race 4, racers cranked up the Gravlev speed to the max in this one. Soaring over the water, racers were gliding over the wakes, making the best lap times that they could to try to advance on this one. Heat after heat, we saw racers push the X1 to the limit, but it was Amarok's Fang putting 15 points on the board with their 3rd place finish. Making their way through the ocean spray and coming in 2nd was none other than Drunken Turtle Racing. But bringing home that 25 points was Warner Corp's Colonial, who showed the competition that you don't have to get wet if you're in first place. Let's see if they can make the racers eat their wake in the next one. Here's how the racers stack up after the first 4, and let's get ready for more System 7 action.
Hello and welcome, folks, to the System 7 presented by ATMO Esports, the premier esports racing league set in the Star Citizen universe. This is the Welcome to Nick's edition, season 2956, and we're into race day 3, where 12 teams remain to fight it out against 2 races. So we're heading deep into Pyro this week, the most dangerous system in the verse, for race 5 on the Nox at Marsh Fire Ridge, and race 6 brings the second heat format race to the season with Saccarine's Gauntlet. Sky Racing holds a commanding lead, as you saw from those recaps, but the championship is tighter than ever behind them. So, how are you doing, Corsair?
Hey, mate, how you going? Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's been a big week of adjudication and rewatching race 3 a hell of a lot to to double check those double start line passes and making sure everything was in line after that race. And then I thoroughly enjoyed race 4 as well. It's with Dead Man's Hook. That was a success in my book as far as track design goes. It was really fun to watch. Even though I was in logistics last week, still hearing the camera team on the comms talking about how much they were enjoying filming that and getting those awesome shots. And yeah, it was a good weekend for racing. As far, I think it was very similar to the week before, where we kind of had a difficult track, and then we kind of got into something a little bit more streamlined. I think this weekend's going to be a little bit similar. Marsh Fire Ridge is our first one. It's a semi-endurance 200-kilometer kind of course. I think we're going to see some interesting choices as far as pathing goes there, but I think by the time we get to the heats in race 6, it will calm down a little bit. It's a bit more straightforward. I think that track's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, and Marsh Fire Ridge, of course, in the Alpo Nox, our fastest vehicle of the race. So excited to see how that is playing in. Some great names, and here is the map. So this is a 2-lap format with the Alpo Nox. We've got the start and finish line with the pit lane here. There's a bit of a straight section over a marshy area here on Pyro's Bloom surface, but this is one of my favorite planet surfaces, just because of that contrast and that bright yellow kind of moss and grass area over the black volcanic rock. So out to checkpoint 1 is more or less a straight shot, and then they bounce between some mountain ranges as they get to checkpoint 2, continuing that on the backtrack from between checkpoint 2 and checkpoint 3, and coming back in around checkpoint 3 to the pit lane, or the start and finish. Now, because of the length of this track, racers do have an option to go through the pit lane, maybe do a vehicle swap if they take any damage or have any rough landings over the terrain, because that could be a factor for folks. I'm excited to see how the racers manage this, and we'll see all 12 racers, all 12 racing teams out on the track for this one at the same time. So moving on in, we're going to Saccarine's Gauntlet, which is this was a modified track. We originally started with Jackson's Gauntlet, but had to switch locations because a game update changed the terrain on these locations. So this will be a heat-based race, 2x2 vehicles with the Drake Mule, and going through this Saccarine's Ridge location. Do you want to talk to us about this track?
Yeah, mate. So, like you mentioned, we had to switch from Jackson's Gauntlet, which is on a different location, to now Saccarine's Gauntlet, just to pay homage to that track, which we had to terminate. Lots of terrain updates, but this track is, in my opinion, more fun and better. It has an interesting kind of final straight position here, going through kind of the the outpost area on a bitumen road through the canyon, which is really nice. There is some rock markers, as you can see from the map there. They're all critical positions of passing. So first corner, there's a nice little rock, large rock there. Sorry, not little rock. There's a large rock there. Turning you up the hill, then you need, as you climb that ridge area, you've got to pass through those two rocks, as you can see there first. And then we've kind of widened the downhill space to make so that racers can make some choice on the downhill there. If you stay too far to the right, there is a rock on the downhill, so you got to be wary of that. Although it does create some pretty large jump options there for you as well. It's a steeper incline. But if you stay to the left, it's kind of a steadier downhill approach. In my opinion, it's probably the safer route. As you head down the hill. Then as you're passing on the bottom end of the track there, it is a bit of a plain area, but there is some collision-based bushes and rocks and stuff like that on that final second final straight there before you hit the last corner. The last corner actually has a couple of interesting bits there. There is kind of a fence there. You can actually cut through on the inside of the fence or go around the fence. That is completely up to you. There is that option. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see if racers make that choice as they pass through. And then it's a nice, quick straight up through the canyon there. There is a little bit of a dog leg in the middle there, which is a little bit tricky when you're at high speed. You just got to watch that. But honestly, mate, it's a pretty fun track to run. I've done it a few times just for development, but yeah.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, this will be the Drake Mule, the 2x2 grid, going through the town's really geology that they've updated in the latest game update. A lot of these locations in Pyro, have got more terrain over them. I was at Outposts recently and noticed that they're now kind of buried under large rock formations and providing a little overhead cover. Definitely makes it a little bit tricky, but also provides a lot more intriguing tracks. And as you mentioned, more choices on the downhill side of this track as they're coming through. They've got 5 laps to perfect it. And, the Mule being a pretty durable vehicle, I don't think we'll have too much of an issue with it. But racers will have to watch the downhill section because it is quick to lose control. As far as our leaderboard, mathematically, of the 12 teams out racing today, I think 8 or 9 of them are still in the running for potential. We see Sky Racing Team at 96 points with a pretty commanding lead, but not to be left behind is Team Punch Nomies, who initially had a slow start on this season, but have come up with 72 points in second place, chasing on Sky Racing's heels. Team Catcom in third position at 58 points, followed by Amarok's Fang at 49 points, Team Tang at 41 points, Premier Corps Colonial at 40 points, Kuroda Racing at 33 points, and Test Squadron at 32 points, rounding out our top 8. Second half of that, if you'd like to talk about where the other racers are at.
The top end of that, we got SPG in at 30, Delta Diatus in at 24, Just Prush it's a single racing team with Prushbringer, they're at 17. So keeping in the realm of the top 10 almost with a single racing team there. Warprom was 16, but have retired, as well as r/SC also retired. AAWA need to come up through those ranks there. They have the opportunity to do so. There are 14 points and have a little bit of work to do. Same with Renlos Racing. But you'll notice the Junerators are also down the bottom there and also have retired due to team scheduling issues. Fastest lap with Punch Nomies for both races actually from last weekend. So they had a really good weekend last weekend. There's a little bit of work to do on some of those races, but you never know what's going to happen. It's the same with any of the PU racing. Anything could happen during these events. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that balance between Sky Racing Team and Team Punch Nomies. Race 3, Punch Nomies won, as well as having the fastest time. Race 4, Skyer won by 0.4 seconds over Team Punch Nomies in the finals, but they actually got the fastest lap bonus point during the initial heats. So trading off there back and forth. Let's talk about what vehicle speeds we're going to be dealing with today, because we're going to have the high and low end of things. So here in race 5, we have race 5 for the Jackson's Gauntlet will be the Drake Mule at 32 meters per second, and really a very stable, very controlled vehicle over the terrain. And going into race 6, the Alpoa Nox, 224 meters per second, is going to be very, very aggressive given the length of the track we have. I'm excited to see how teams are going to manage that. And it is a 2-lap race with the pit stop in between. What are your favorite things about these vehicles, and anything you need to watch out for during the races today?
Yeah, just to recap that, race 5 is going to have the Apollo Nox on Marsh Fire Ridge. It's going to be our first race today. Like you said, polar opposites of speed. So 224 meters a second on the Apollo Nox. I did hear some comments from the races for us putting something that is high speed, low durability on an endurance track. But watching people do the Daymar rally, you can, I think, there is the opportunity to still make it. Obviously, we included a pit lane for I think it's the second time we've done a pit lane. We are using this as kind of a test event for pit laning. So they have the opportunity to replace their Nox on the second lap if they wish to. Just to explain that pit lane as well. So what we've done is teams are basically going to line up their support ships in one line, just like an F1 garage situation. So they're going to line their ships up like their individual garages for like pit lane replacement of their Noxes. That's going to be on the opposite side of the Caterpillar, creating a pit lane for them to come through, head to their team garage, switch their Nox out, and continue racing. The Caterpillar is going to divide the racetrack from the pit lane, as you'll see in the footage coming up when we go live. So that's going to be a little bit different to what we're used to. You won't see too many pit lanes in System 7. A lot of them are short course, short laps. Obviously, heats, we don't really require them. So there isn't a lot of opportunity to put a pit lane in. We will be looking at that in the future to include more pit lanes and make it more of a viable option for people to use. Heading into race 6, we have the Drake Mule on the heats at 32 meters a second. The Drake Mule is actually the most fun vehicle to race this season. It's got enough speed. It doesn't feel like it's on a rail. It has some ability to it. It has its 6-wheel axis rotation.
Yeah,
so when you're
great turning
rolling
radius
and
on it.
twisting, it's probably in my opinion, the most fun vehicle. I've been taking the Mule around with me for all track testing.
One note about the Mule, you can also extend the forks on the front that provides a little bit better vehicle stability. So we'll see some racers have that out potentially. Some might have it retracted, but with a tight track and 4 racers out there competing with you, we'll see what they decide to run with.
Yeah, 100%, mate. But yeah, it's fun. I'm looking forward to race 6. It's probably one of my favorite tracks this season. So yeah, I'm excited to watch that race unfurl.
Yeah. All right. So I know our racers are working on getting up to the starting line right now. We have coming up, we've got the finals, which should happen next week, Saturday, May 2nd. But before that, we want to talk about the sponsors and the merch that we have lined up for ATMO Esports with these events. So on the left side, you see those awesome System 7 official ATMO jerseys. Give us the rundown.
Yeah, mate. So yeah, we've got all of our seasonal jerseys on sale here at atmo.sc/merch. Armour.gg is producing our products for this season. So System 7 one's available. All of these jerseys are available. We've also got the EA56 collection as well, which is still online for a limited time. That was to commemorate the live event in Sydney, Australia that we had in February, which was fun. So yeah, if you want to grab one of those before they jump off the store, head on over and check those out as well.
Limited time deals.
But yeah, maybe we might have a chat about a couple of our sponsors. I might just grab a keyboard and we can have a chat about that.
Yeah, you get that pulled together. So that is, of course, the Corsair keyboard. We'll talk about that in a moment. But let's start off with Monster Tech, an official sponsor for ATMO Esports. transforming your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you at every virtual adventure. I've got the Monster Tech joystick mount as well as the RSI chair. I think it's the RSI. I blanked on the name. It's the Tempest. Great stitching, works well with their mount system, pre-integrated with the frames so that you can have chair mounted versus desk mounted, and showing the custom stitching up here for all of your racing needs. So we got that. I'm wearing my System 7 jersey. Appreciate that, and it looks like you got some official merch too.
Yeah, I got the ATMO jersey on, which is the same collection, just in a different style. So it's got the shoulder banding and kind of that model through it. It's each season's a limited edition, different series. So we've got a couple of people that have collected them and have one from every season, which is impressive to see. But yeah, man, it's they feel good. The sizing is pretty accurate. There's just probably for me just the right amount of slimness to each of the sizes as you go up. But I love it. Also we got Corsair as well as a sponsor too. So I've got one of their keyboards, their latest keyboard, the Galleon as well, which has got the included Stream Deck, which is also included on the keyboard, which is fully customizable. It's an awesome keyboard, mechanical keyboard, as you know. It's got some decent weight to it. They're really nice too. Thank you, Corsair, for sending a couple of those over. We also have Pigeon Spaceport, which we've got their ships here. We've got the Scorpius. Fully movable parts in here, which is really nice. It comes in a beautiful box, which is very well designed. It looks great. It feels great. And there's a little bit of construction to do, but not much. It's all magnetic clips, just all puts together. They're a good looking model. So check them out.
And so I think these are also the same models that you see on Jared's desk during ISC. The detail on these, I've seen them previously at CitizenCon in person. We had one giveaway from last year that was amazing. The quality they put into those models. So if you're somebody who likes to show off a little bit of nerdiness, it's a great addition to your shelf, or maybe your cubicle at work. So.
Yeah, 100%. And then obviously we have Virpil. We have Virpil supporting us as well. We got to get a lot of their gear in for EA56 and support us with that, which was fantastic. I think Virpil's a bit of a community favorite, so I think a lot of us understand what Virpil can do and the quality of their sticks and the customization. Phenomenal sticks, and we look forward to working with them at some future events as well, which is gonna be nice. Have you had a chance to use the Virpil sticks, mate?
I haven't had a chance to use Virpils directly. I've got a competing joystick system, but I've seen these at the live esports events that have been put on. I've been able to actually feel and hold them. They feel wonderful. A lot of great button control, responsiveness from the inputs. So highly recommended for anybody getting into your flight sim situation.
Cool. All right, going into some views. Let's do it.
Yeah, they're getting set up on the racing start line for race number 5. We see the Nox. These gravel vehicles doing a little bit of hopping there. But it looks like
that's pretty normal. I get a bit of that bounce. Yeah, looking good. As you can see, the Caterpillar is there dividing the support chips on the other side. As you can see, there's a little bit of a line of support chips over there. That's your pit lane. Looks like they've given the right amount of room. It looks like it's pretty well set up. And just getting the races to the grid. Obviously, we did have some pausing, trying to get some lobby stuff sorted before. This is why we're just probably a little bit later than normal for the start of the broadcast. But it's looking like a nice morning. A couple of clouds, bit of spit on the rain there. Maybe some showers later today.
Yeah, that is quite an impressive view there on the starting line. Again, just coming into sunrise. Hopefully we should have a pretty well lit track for the race start as they're getting prepared. I love to see those Asgards out there providing support. Great interior space. A couple of larger ships, the Hercules and the Carrack. Definitely some good vehicles to have around, providing support, and your backup vehicles here in that pit lane. That high dynamic view. Love to see it. So some big events happening. Go ahead.
Sorry, mate. I was just going to talk about the Bloom a little bit. That shot's really cool.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to design a track on Bloom for some time. The terrain wasn't really allowing us to do so in previous patches. Dexter in particular has been spending a lot of time to kind of try and find something that works in Bloom, because it is such a picturesque location. And when we went to Pyro, it was one of the first places we wanted to kind of create a track. We'll probably end up developing this track further or move to something else after this, but this is our first time racing on Bloom, but we're pretty excited. It's going to be visually stunning during the entire race. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the racers actually handle the terrain once they're down there. Ground vehicle wise, it's a very, it's very grand and spacious. Lots of mountains, lots of marsh flats. It's an interesting terrain to kind of build tracks, because apart from the mountains, there isn't tons of physical checkpoint positions. There is very sparse outposts, and they're kind of clumped together when they are located. So it's an interesting place to try and build a track. And I think in the future we'll try and do something in addition to this one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate.
Yeah, and talking about previous race days, so race day 2 had some key highlights at the Levki Helix. Again, a very interesting track. You had that double pass through the main corridor. Team Punch Dummies came in with the win, helping secure themselves with some points and providing a little bit of redemption, because they had a very underwhelming race day 1, almost no points for races 1 and 2 due to various DNFs. Now, Endermaster had their best result for Team Catcom, which came in position 2 on race 3. Skyer came in on position 5. So Neojet, was working on putting in points for them, maintaining that lead. Still a number of points available from position 5, but yeah, they dropped a little bit and brought that closer with Team Punch Dummies, who's very, very hungry. Moving into race 4, the finals, obviously a fantastic race there with a really tight close. That was 0.4 seconds between Team Star Racing and Team Punch Dummies, who are both right at the top right now. And we know exactly why. They've been performing really well during race day 2. And I'm excited to see how they do in race day 3. Not to be left out, Jacoden from Punch Dummies put in the fastest final lap time in race 4. But came in second, just behind the Sky Racing. So some interesting dynamics. Hopefully, we'll see some of that play out a little bit more today. And as I mentioned, 8 of these teams still racing are still statistically possible to take the position first place from Sky Racing, but they need to lock it in today.
Yeah, we got very different racing styles this weekend. So it might be in favor of teams in the top 5 to gain some more points and get up in the top section of the leaderboard. So we might see some leaderboard changes here. There has been a lot of talent from those top 5 teams as far as consistency. So it's going to be interesting. This is an endurance. This is a Gravlev race. It is very different. I know we did Gravlev racing last weekend, but that was a short course, different type of vehicle, not a lot less collision options there. So micro damage is kind of a factor. Yeah.
Yeah. Arena Commander, it was over the water, provided us some very interesting areas to look for. But yeah, you're not going to have the terrain and the potential impacts like you're going to have here on Bloom in the persistent universe with a dynamic environment working around you.
Yeah, let's see how they do. It looks like they've got quite a few races up on the grid. They're just forming the grid. So the grid is based on the last race, but when we go into heats, it's a little bit harder to do that. So because we split them into groups of 4, so we actually do the grid positioning for each heat based on total points for the season. So by going into this one, because Heats was the previous race, we're going off the final results of that race 4 to produce the grid positions here for this race here. So there's a little bit of time spent getting people into the right grid position. There would have been a little bit of time spent getting the player support ships, the racer support ships on the other side of Caterpillar there, just to keep that race space clear as they come up. So as you can see, we're on a plateau. The plateau has a couple of natural ramps in it, which is nice. So as you exit and as you enter the plateau, you have some kind of natural ramps there. Whereas a lot of the other hills and spaces around there are fairly steep inclines or cliff faces in general. So this plateau allows us to kind of have a identifiable start position with some at least some steady kind of racing on and off ramps.
And provides a good landmark as you're racing these vehicles. You know, we may see racers use first person versus third person as they're trying to make their way through this track. So having a good elevated position, maybe getting a call out from supporting teams. So the racers that are actually going to be out there on the field for us today, from Team Punch Nomies is going to be Herbie. From Skyr Racing is going to be Ricky Ticky. Delta Diatis, we're going to see Check Leak out there. From Premier Corps Colonial, we'll see Leblu Pyrus. Andrew Master is racing for Team Catcom. Prushbringer, once again for Team Just Prush. Travis John 82 for Test Squadron. Big Flex from Amarok's Fang. Renlos Malik from Renlos Racing. Unslum or Slum KH4 from Team Tang. AAWA Razor 1905 from the Team Drunken Turtle. And Kebukadesu from SPG Racing. So we've got some good names. We've seen most of these racers in previous events, and excited to see how they're going to be competing today with all 12 of them out on the track at the same time.
Yeah. So yeah, just it's going to be interesting. We've dropped a couple of teams, so there's slightly less competition on the back end. I will say one of those teams were racing with points up in the top 10. So there's at least going to be a bit of a mid pack update and change here when it comes to that difference in teams. Now, going into the heats, it's going to be a drastically different racing experience again. Last week we saw teams dominate both races, and we did have technically two Gravlev races last week, but this week we have a Gravlev and a ground wheel racing event. So we may see some chance for catch up here, which will be interesting. It's surprising once going through these 3 races in a row, realizing that we've got a fairly Gravlev heavy mid portion to the season. And then, once today is over, we won't see Gravlev again for the rest of the season. But yeah, I think like each year we try to pair vehicles. We try to use one vehicle once for the season. We try to have some of these things in place so that there is some variety, and then making a decision per course route. We do spend some time on that, trying to figure that out. But yeah, this will be the last Gravlev race for the season.
Yeah, and the upcoming race, as you mentioned, the second race happening today will be that Saccharine Gauntlet at Saccharine Ridge, kind of an improvised track based on the recent changes to terrain here on some of the Pyro 5 moons. And then we're also going to move in next Saturday to Volcano Lake on Vur over in Pyro as well. That is going to be a much longer endurance-based race with 2 vehicles included.
Yeah, correct. Volcano Lake is our second year running this track, and yes, we do use 2 different vehicles. We have the Cyclone RC and the Lynx as well. We have there is some slight differences to terrain. Again, when I say slight, I mean major. Which also were put in kind of mid-season. which is going to be interesting. There's after checkpoint 1 and around checkpoint 1, there's all these considerably large rock formations, which we're going to make some decisions on moving forward when it comes to next weekend. But basically, you can pass straight through these massive rocks. So we're going to update some sub rules on that for the teams, whether we go around them or we go through them. The problem with that is that there's so many, and it's quite difficult terrain to go around. So if they were to go around all the rocks to get through the passageway, not only would it be difficult to adjudicate on people passing through or not passing through, but it would extend the length of the race like considerably. Something that I can't even really predict. It'll be a much larger race if we have to do that by going around them, because it is an absolute massive maze of rocks all the way through that second section there. So sub rules aren't released yet, but we will be doing that early this week to kind of give you some parameters around what to do with the rocks. It's unfortunate. We ran the Lorville Loop for quite some time. For almost all of our seasons, except for the last one. We were trying to give Volcano Lake, a couple of seasons under its belt to prove itself, because it is actually fun to race on that terrain. It's fairly straight. There's not a lot of collision space stuff there. So it is actually, I find, quite smooth to run and race. And by the time you get to the islands, you have to make a lot of decisions on that last third to quarter. It was an interesting track, but the rocks have made it a little bit it's a bit irritating, mate, to kind of like handle that terrain issue.
Well, some of the difficulties of running a race in a live service environment with an adapting game, right? This Volcano Lake has been one of my favorites, watching the change between the vehicles. And as you mentioned, that last third to about half coming after checkpoint 1 was already disorienting based on the number of small lakes that are pockmarked through that peninsula. Getting your way out there, we ended up last year seeing a team get turned around before they got to that checkpoint 2 location, and all the way back up to the Polaris Bridge almost before they realized they were in the wrong direction. They were a contender for top 3, got turned around and ended up coming in pretty close to last, if not last, for that. So we'll be watching out for that. That's happening next Saturday, May 2nd.
Yeah. So, I'm wondering how our races are going. I'm just waiting to hear back from logistics. And hopefully we're not too far away from race 5. Shouldn't be too far away. Looks like we've got a few more support ships rocking up.
Okay. So for this first race, with all 12 racers out, it'll be the standard points format. And coming up on the next race, race 6 at Saccarine's Gauntlet, that's going to be the heat-based races. So first place on our regular tournament points structure, 25 points, 18 points for second, 15 points for third, continuing down from 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and then single points for 10th through 16th place. For the heat-based races, so we'll run the initial heats to determine overall time for those heats. That's what's going to progress into either the finals or the runner-up finals for those secondary heats. So those who get knocked out after their initial heat, 9th, 10th through 12th, 2 or 1 point for the folks there. But finals points, we have between 12 and 25 points for the winners here as well. I believe that we also have a fastest lap bonus for race 5 on this heat-based. So, and some great views here. The flurries coming through. Is that snow, rain? It's got to be rain coming in through Pyro 3, right? Weather cooperating. Love the hazy views here as we'll get kind of the early morning angles through the light. That's been one of my favorites about Pyro 3 here, Bloom, with the golden grass and kind of the moss cover over that black rock provides a beautiful contrast. The planet itself has a beautiful cloud system, and we're going to be able to see some really great views with those light rays coming through that top cloud cover layer. Some of our support vehicles here at the starting line as we wait for final racers to get to that starting position. See Herbie, Check League, Crushbringer, Slum KH4, Ricky Tiki, Kebu. Racers out forming up the grid. Liblu Pyrus as well. And some of our support vehicles around. Great views coming in. We've got Misty N here. Fatbird will be some of our other cameras. I believe Brahms as well. And we have a handful of those on their way in. Oh, it's like we have one vehicle trying to cooperate out there. Yeah. And we should see a little bit of some, because we're in the persistent universe here, hopefully some cool skins on the Alpoa Nox for racers that go in this. Some mention was that, yeah, this vehicle is very like a lack of durability. It's a very fragile. So racers going to have to be very conservative about what terrain they approach, how they try and take the track here, with the benefit of having that pit stop area where they're able to come through, replace a vehicle if they feel like it's taken a little bit of damage. They're working on the logistics, getting everything set up. I love the Caterpillar there. Great support vehicle. Those side bays opening up does provide great access for anything inside those cargo bays. And some vehicles on the ground. I think we're seeing some physics desync as the Asgard there tries to hop around its best. People taking vehicles inside and out of each other, providing some interesting physics issues today. So some big names out on the racetrack. Herbie from Team Punchnomi's had one of our fastest qualifier positions, or the fastest qualifier position by a decent margin. Ricky Tiki, who won the race 4 yesterday, and really edged out Team Punchnomi's by 0.4 seconds. That was quite the finish, as they were basically neck and neck right towards the end. Premier Corps Colonial did have a DNF in race 3 pretty early on, so they're looking for some redemption. Travis John 82 for Test Squadron. I think this is the first official appearance. Was slated in for last week, but I believe Renee was the backup. Big Flex from Amarok's Fang is a new driver, so the 4th different driver we're seeing from Team Amarok's Fang as they're getting lined up. We saw Slum KH4 from Team Tang coming in as an alternate earlier on in the series as well. And if you're watching, we do have a couple of teams that have been solo entries. That is Just Prush team with the driver Prushbringer, who's the solo entry in that team. And that is one aspect. We have different racing styles that are being applied for each of these races with the Drake Mule, the Grey Cat STV. We had the Dragon for the Dragonfly or the Hover Quad. We got the Tumbrel Cyclone. So between Wheels, Gravlev, Zero G, with a team that has multiple racers available, they have a chance to specialize in one type of vehicle and really get to know it, how it handles, how they need to work with the vehicle over the terrain to make the race happen. And yeah, when you're a solo racer doing it all by yourself, you've got to be a master of everything. So getting the final views here as our final couple of racers make their way in. So we got some good looking paints out there. The metallic blue off to the left there. The white, blue, and pink racing options out beyond that. Getting some great lighting conditions out here.
Yeah, sun's coming out. It's getting a bit brighter, looking good. Yeah, sorry, Red, just doing some logistical stuff on the back end there. Just getting a couple of things underway. Thanks for covering. Yeah, two more races are still en route, so we'll just wait for those races to rock up, and then we can get this underway as quickly as we can. The quicker the better, because obviously these racers out here waiting, all concerned about micro damage. Even as they stand still, it's a risky thing in the Star Citizen persistent universe to be hanging out for too long. Anything can happen. So, yeah, as you can see, they're spinning around a little bit and they're hovering and bumping, and anything can happen. So the quicker the better.
Yeah, trying to get things locked in. The last couple of races are on their way now. Mathematically speaking, as we go into race number 5. The maximum possible points, really, if teams like Delta Diatis right on the bubble, they would need for Team Sky Racing to zero out the rest of the week or the rest of the series in order to get there. That's probably not going to happen for them. Test Squadron also pretty close on the margins, but there is a bit of a story they're building in the mid-range of the pack. So Premier Corps Colonial, Team Tang, Amarok's Fang, Catcom, those teams between 40 and almost 60 points coming in behind there. Team Punchnomi's with 72 points, really nipping at Sky Racing's heels, who currently leads with 96 points. It's going to be today, tomorrow, and then the finals. So after today, maybe even after this race here, race number 5, we may see that leaderboard clarify a little bit, see who's got the statistical opportunity still to take first place or into that top 3. So everybody out there is going to be pushing for it.
To speak on that a little bit, Red. We had some issues with last weekend, and race 3 kind of threw us out. We are going to do a full update on times and for these 2 races and last weekend, so teams have a bit more clarity. Obviously, we're doing some leaderboard updates as we go. So the points may change a little bit, but ultimately the top 5 are still very close to each other. But yeah, we'll get there. Last week was tough. I was away for work this week and just was low on time and just trying to spend as much time on like rewatching race 3. I had to kind of rewatch every racer and retime them and get from what footage I had, which was a difficult experience. So hoping not to ever have to do that again. But you learn, you make these tracks and you learn what to do and what not to do. And we've made over the course of the last 4 or 5 years doing System 7. We have a pretty large library of tracks, also all of which that have had terrain changes over the years. But we're trying to involve Levki since it was a new system with Nix getting added this year.
Mm-hmm.
But it was difficult to adjudicate. But anyway.
Limited areas right now in Nix to be able to run these races. As we start getting the planet surfaces, a lot more opportunities coming there. But I will say the Levki Helix was a very interesting track, given the double loop nature, and obviously that complicates your scorekeeping. We saw that happen a little bit. Our volunteer force here, keeping people lined up, they did their best as they could, and of course all of that subject to validation afterwards. But a great looking race there. I think we only had one DNF in the Levki Helix, and everybody else, it seemed like it was a pretty clear event. So
yeah, and as we go into the finals next weekend, we will have prizes announced this weekend. We just had final approval on the list, so we can finally send all that information out. We're just getting the graphic finalized, and we will be able to give you a graphical presentation. So by finals next week, you'll have all that listed, and people will know what they'll be fighting for in the final. So yeah, look out for that this weekend. It's I think people will be excited. There's a little bit extra on the physical side, which is nice, as well as some pretty cool digital prizes. Obviously, new ships coming out soon or have just been released as a bit of a hint, but the prizes are always large. I know that the teams put in a lot of time doing their practicing and stuff like that, which we all really appreciate. Everyone who works in the ATMO back end, all the team members out there, this camera feed coming through for us right now, we all put in the time, and we're happy that we can provide a free entry racing event, based on your skill. Look out for that this weekend.
Yeah. And just waiting, we saw a couple of, I think, one more vehicle entering the starting grid, waiting for those final racers to get here, get lined up. Getting a launch on the server this weekend has been a little tricky, but the team's doing their best to make sure logistics are in place, ready to receive once we're able to get everybody in and the game cooperating. So,
yeah. Won't be long, guys. Won't be long. But I can tell. I bet you these races are popping up and down and getting impatient, wanting to get this race underway, which we all do. In the meantime, we can enjoy these beautiful views out here at Bloom. It is beautiful. I've recently got a new screen, and screenshots look great on it. So I've been taking a lot of photos in this last week while I've been out in the field. Checking different adjudication possible issues and whatnot. Obviously this race here, there is some sub rules about mountain peaks and whatnot, so I will go over that a little bit before we get started. So we do have the 3 checkpoints, and the peak of those checkpoints are pretty easy to see. We will have ships out there as well to support the checkpoint positions, but basically there is some valleys, though. There's still a lot of choice between each checkpoint. Obviously, you need to get from checkpoint to checkpoint, so cutting corners is very difficult when it comes to that. But there is some valleys, especially on the last third of the track, third to a half of the track, where there's some peaks. There is a sub rule where you can't really go over the mountains on the sides of the valleys are kind of your boundary limit. Racers are not allowed to go past the peak or travel on the peak of any of the side valley mountains. So we will have ships from our team running down the peaks of those mountain ranges to kind of make sure people are staying in their lane as they pass through. But other than that, the sub rules are pretty straightforward. Just get to the checkpoints, make sure you turn around them correctly on the outside of the ship and around the actual mountain that is the checkpoint, and then just not getting your altitude too high where you're trying to cut it's not so much a corner, it is more of a straight, but getting too high and too far to the right to try and shave off as much time. So just watch out and stay away from those peaks, guys, and you should be pretty safe.
Yeah, and that is going to be one of the aspects with these gravel vehicles. Any terrain might have an opportunity to launch you a little bit. We've seen some interesting things happening physically, the physics of the game, driving some shifts. But everybody should be, the same location, same performance. We'll just have to watch as they go through. Loving this cloud overhead cover.
Good shot.
It's really creating a great dynamic lighting situation here.
With that bounce, you think that would actually be a disadvantage, right? You get thrown to the air and you got to try and come back down. You probably wouldn't get too much of a length advantage, would you? I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna vary based on how they want to take the approach back to the ground. Some teams, sometimes you may want to slow down because this is a lot more fragile vehicle. If they take a large hop and have a hard landing, that could be the end of their race day. So you may see teams slow down intentionally, bring that speed right down as low as you can get it to have a safe re-entry onto the surface level. There could be some strategy to really just sending it, going with it, and rolling the dice with each of those hops. So,
Yep. So just an update on pausing. We've just had a CTD on the last racer coming up, so we're just making sure that they can recover. They have recovered. So they're about a few minutes away, about 30 kilometers or less now. So yeah, looks like we will be underway very soon. And once they're there, we'll get this countdown going immediately and be underway. I'm kind of excited now. Yeah. I love the
So we'll
terrain.
have
I'm
two
looking forward to
labs
the
here.
shots.
Yeah, 2 labs here. Should have pretty good visibility today. We are as we started broadcast, it was coming up on the sunrise, so we'll watch for that. Seeing the physics happen there, that was an interesting view. And coming from the side, that yellow and black contrast.
Yeah, the team did an awesome job on shots last week. Very cinematic, and it looks like we're going to get very similar this week. Love the team. Well done, cameras. A different camera team this week too. Majority of them are different. We got Misty and Fatbird in there. We got Jack Sparrow in there this week. I think Foxy's about to jump on as well. So yeah, completely different camera team out there this weekend, which is cool, and we're still getting that kind of consistency with their quality of work, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the views we're getting here are pretty awesome. I would say the Levki Helix was a little bit harder to see just because the scale we were working with, trying to keep out of the way of those vehicles, and the speeds they were operating with, made it a very difficult track to really observe the specific racers. We saw the party markers and those names hovering, but aside from a few select angles, it was a difficult one to track visually. But that track itself, a very unique kind of double approach in through that main column within the Levski landing area.
Yeah, it's a 360 object, 360 3D object. It does not land like this. So yeah, it was difficult for many reasons. That track, I honestly don't see us going back. Not in that form with a double line at least, but yeah, I don't know, man. It was like making the map for that is also slightly difficult too. There's a lot of comments on exact pathing. Yeah, but
And that's
but yeah, I don't
that's
know.
part of the challenge of trying to run an event like this. Coming up with a balance of the racetracks, a combination of new and maybe a little bit more piloted tracks where you haven't had as much time behind those, versus some established tracks that have been kind of your perennials. We have the Dust Hustle that's making a recovery or a return from previous years. The Leisure Loop in Crusader, another favorite there. So, and coming back in, the other favorite for the finals, Volcano Lake. So having some known commodities versus having some new tracks that are going to be a little bit more dynamic, maybe a little bit more of a skills check to get there. So
Yeah,
see the
yeah.
there.
That on top of Arena Commander maps versus PU maps as well is a whole nother aspect to it as well. Obviously, making lobbies and creating lobbies, we wouldn't be waiting this kind of long for a start line. So, we've had a lot of discussions in the back end about doing more in AC if it's deemed possible. I mean, and then and just trying to make it easier for racers and officials alike to kind of get stuff moving quickly. And also being able to manage adjudication and having cams more available. AC even helps with that as well, with quick respawns and quick relocation. So it is like, we love the PU aspect of System 7 and Demo Rally because we have Arena Commander aspect of our other two events with Fight or Flight and Gravity Rush. They're heavily in AC. So having some more PU stuff in our other events, we try to do that as well and involve as much of the world as we can. But when it comes down to time and having a competitive fair race, AC is definitely the best way forward in that regard. So who knows what will happen in future years for System 7 when it comes to that.
Yeah, and this is again on the persistent universe servers, the live environment where we can have drive-bys, we can have other people who might be completing missions in the areas that we're operating out of. So a lot of variables that get thrown in there. The arena commander races, a unique aspect that's able to bring some of those variables under control, but the uh, the overall performance across all 7 races is, one race could be a good versus bad, but you need to put in for all 7 races to make it count.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Oh, that's a cool shot. I didn't realize there was those little that little derelict outpost there. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, last
Dotted
racer
throughout
on around the
pyro,
start
these little
line has
skeletons.
landed and is unloading the bike. So we shouldn't be too far away. Thanks for your patience, audience. We did have some lobby-based kind of issues at the start. There has been a lot of updates this week. I don't know if you guys have been playing this week. You've been on every second day, pretty much. So there's been an update every couple of days, getting some hot fixes into 4.7. So maybe a little bit of an issue at the start today, but so far so good.
Yeah, and coming out of a free fly last week, we do see that affecting server performance as kind of an increased volume of players comes back to give the game a try either for the first time or maybe deciding again if it's the right time to get back into it on those free flight weekends. That's wrapped up, and obviously the team's working on technical issues, trying to put those hot fixes in. New systems like the quality based system for minerals and the crafting system that I don't know if you've had an opportunity to play around with those, but I'm really rather excited about the addition of being able to get some vehicle components. We saw they've got the FR66 and FR76 blueprints. Those are, of course, your military grade shield generators. So starting to be able to craft those and understanding what goes into those as a big differentiator in combat scenarios. Hopefully you see some additional components that tailor to the racing or potentially, my own personal favorite, the mining industries. Some good performance components would be good to make a difference on some of these vehicles, and could complicate a little bit of the future racing events, but also gives players a reason to branch out, get some additional high quality materials, craft, and really fine tune their vehicle's performance specifically.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting moving forward with component adjustment. Really looking forward to repair and all of that stuff being more available, especially not only this race, and obviously involving pit lanes with those components and repair capabilities. Refueling of ground vehicles will be really cool, and then what that brings for the Daymar Rally as well. But obviously, we've all been waiting for decent engineering and component replacement for some time, so it is an exciting year. The races do have the ability to choose components on their vehicles this year. So haven't had a lot of haven't had a lot of talk about that over the course of the year from the races in particular, but it is something that they can do.
Yeah, we haven't seen it really provide a significant difference in vehicle performance. The other factors involved in the race, both understanding the track, the pathing, the maneuvering, and the durability of the vehicles being an aspect to watch out for. But hopefully some differentiation, maybe better heat management, faster boost recovery. Those would be significant changes in overall performance that could make the difference in future events.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we should be very close. We'll wait for an update from logistics, but we should be pretty close.
Got race 5
Don't see
and
rocks.
race 6 today.
Don't see rocks on a stock grid that much, do we? It's a little bit different.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm
Gravliv's all
not
you
sure
can do
if
that
this
in.
was a hand-picked location yet, but yeah, very interesting starting grid setup.
Yeah. All right.
And we've got the racers ready. Just making sure our starting grid's loaded in. And we should be able to get this race started finally.
All right, info coming in from logistics. Let me update you guys in a second. We've got our leaderboard up there. I would ignore that countdown time. I'll get that reset.
Yeah. All right. So we've got from Team Punch Nummies, we got Herbie racing there, Ricky Ticky from Sire Racing, Check Leak from Delta Diatus Racing, LeBlue Pyrus from Premier Corps Colonial, Endermaster from Team Catcom, Crushbringer from Team Just Crush, Travis John 82 from Test Squadron, Big Flex from Amarok's Fang Racing, Renlos Malik from Renlos Racing, Slum KH4 from Team Tang, AAWA Eraser from Team Drunken Turtle, and Kebu Kedesu with SPG Racing there. Getting the clock reset and ready to send these racers on their way. We're going to get the official countdown here momentarily. StarCitizen really adhering to that 1 hour rule.
All right, everybody, here we go. Countdown started. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. 10 seconds to go. Let's do it. Let's do it. 5 seconds to go.
3, 2, 1, and go.
And we're off. Awesome. Let's do it.
Up there. Herbie slightly behind.
Ricky's out the front.
Like
Ricky's
blue
passionate.
on that front left corner may have had a vehicle issue right before the start. I come down this first hillside. That is quite the tricky bit of terrain. Oh, and that is an Endermaster collision. And a check leak collision.
Down. That was off the bounce, right? That was off the jump.
Yeah, that downhill section providing a little bit of a launch platform, and a few of them not handling it gracefully at all.
No, we often see collisions and explosions on the very start of a race with the grid and everyone trying to avoid each other and whatnot. But probably vision on that downhill is tricky. And then you could see that they bounced kind of off the bottom of the little mini ramp valley there. So I think that's kind of been the undoing for two teams there.
Yeah, and we see Ricky Ticky off to the left from Sire Racing. I think Check Leak was from Delta Diatus, who had the initial DNF.
We got Travis John out the far right there. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Slight collision there. Crushbringer from Team Just Crush, Kebu, there. Ricky Ticky still out ahead, about 1.3 kilometers separation between him and Team Crush and Kebu from those groups. Really ripping apart there across that water feature.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the DNFs come through. They take a minute. We just confirm with the teams before we do any final DNFs. But from what I could tell, it was Catcom and Delta Diatus. I'll see what pops up.
Endermaster and Check Leak, yeah, look like the initial collisions. Travis John from Team Test Squadron we saw there with the previous.
All right, let's have a look.
I think that looks like it might be Travis John, as he had done right over that hill and
dipped
onto the far
straight
side.
into a rock.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Okay, so they have 2 laps, 200K, so they gotta be careful. They gotta take their time. Anyone who's practiced will probably understand at what speed and the level of caution, but it's still going to be tense for a lot of teams. They need to keep their head straight and be very careful the entire route. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, and here we see Ricky Ticky, who I believe is currently in the lead, heading up that way. You see these markers for caves here. There are a couple of outposts now for some of the mining missions. You're supposed to get to these caves and do some turn-ins. Very interesting setup.
Yeah,
here.
unfortunately, we're not gonna see any position updates until lap 1, and then we can see midway where the standings are. It is kind of difficult to manage on the endurance with the updates here. With just know on the back end team, I'm filling in for Crucian this weekend. He's away at an event, so we've got someone filling in for me on the back end for the SCR timers. So we'll probably just have to wait for that first lap to really see. But we can check from this vision, and from what I can tell, we've got Ricky out the front there. So all those markers in the distance is adjudicators and checkpoints. The racers are told which players are checkpoints so that they can kind of identify it from all the markers. But we do have, 6, 7, or 8 staff members out there looking after adjudication and marker positions. And we're still on the flats.
Yeah, there's Renlos Malik. And tracked by Captain Jack Sparrow here. So Renlos, who is towards the back of the pack right now, 9th position to start. Ricky Ticky up at the top now, about 12 kilometers off of Gloomy Gun, which I believe is one of our checkpoints. Taking a couple of hops off the rocks in the area here. There's Big Flex from Amrock's Fang Racing. First time getting a good view of him on the track.
Yeah, he's moving. He's moving. Be using that water as much as possible. I don't know if that's a tactic. Everyone's dodging the water, but isn't the water safer?
Yeah.
Or is it
less chance for one of these rogue rocks to come out, and you can just see the speed difference as
it just took off when he hit the water. Yeah. I guess it's that bounce once you re-enter land. It's that bounce that you get, which is kind of like what we saw just before with that crash. Like he's come off the bounce and then dipped straight down into the terrain, and it's completely destroyed him. So
take a bit of a
it's going to be tricky
to do it.
Yeah.
Definitely something to watch for the remainder of this lap, and as racers get into lap number 2, how they're going to manage it.
Yeah, they'll get their fresh vehicles, which is nice. Hopefully, we still haven't rounded checkpoint 1 yet, so there's still a bit of racing to be done.
Yeah, got Jack Sparrow tracking at the front here. We see Big Flex, Prushbringer. Missing party marker on that one, but we see Prushbringer and Kebu right behind. Yeah, they're hitting some of that water areas. And here's Ricky coming up past Gloomy Gun.
There's a checkpoint 1.
There's LeBlue, a couple of those other folks.
Big Flex is right there. Yeah, Big Flex is on top of him. All right, they need to be careful when it comes to... Oh, look at that speed update when you hit the water. Just gun it. The Ricky just took off from Big Flex. Big Flex still took it very cautious. Also cautious on the ramping. There's no issues here with peaking. Everyone's keeping to the flats because you go up the hill like you've got undeterminable terrain. Or Ricky's paused. What's going on? No, it's just the game.
Could be a desync there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
So we do have a couple of confirmed DNFs: Delta Diatus, Catcom, Test Squadron, and Renlos. So. Renlos from Renlos Racing, Travis John 82 from Test Squadron, Catcom was Endermaster, and Delta Diatus was Checkly, we saw right at the beginning. Ricky's not moving here. Give it a minute to update. See what his status is. Marooned or destroyed. And I'm not seeing a vehicle there.
No, that would generally mean a death, but I don't know if we can get confirmation on Ricky from logistics and see what the go is with that, unless it's just completely synced out, because it was a weird pause on the marker as it ended. So from what we can tell, Big Flex is up front. Yeah. There is a vehicle there.
Oh, that's a corpse.
Did he go into the water
Ricky-Ticky
too deep?
like.
Did he bounce down into it? I don't know.
It's hard to say. It could have been an explosion, then just a desync that we didn't get to catch it on our end.
We missed the
but
graphic.
Yeah, that's a ragdoll in the water there. So,
damn, he ain't gonna be happy about that.
Unfortunate there. That's Ricky-Ticky from Sire Racing. So they were the top team leaderboard points so far. So with a DNF there, really struggling now. Not the first DNF. I think we had 4 others ahead. So out of the 12, that puts him in position 8.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't know if Ricky. I know Ricky practices a hell of a lot, but you could tell the difference between the decisions on that particular spot just before what it looks like him crashing. Big Flex took way more time, not only on the water but on the entry back onto land, whereas Ricky was at full speed on the way to land, and I think that may have been his downfall on that corner, because Big Flex is taking his time on everything here, and that's obviously going to be the key with any kind of hidden thing. He's just taking it easy. This is something that
fragile vehicles, right?
Yeah. Back in the day, Croncy used to just stop at the start line, wait for everyone to leave, take his time, always be at the end of the pack, and then by the end of a race, he'd be up in the top 3, top 4, whatever it was, or first, and he'd clean up a season just by taking it slow, getting out of the way of the pack, making sure the terrain doesn't take advantage of the vehicle by really taking careful, which I think Big Flex is taking that approach this season.
Yeah, and I think that's the right approach, especially with this track and this vehicle, that combination. We saw Ricky-Ticky there that was up in the front, who suffered there. Big Flex here from Amarok's Fang. They were, 8th position coming in here, but 4th overall for the points. Big Flex is going to feel good about that. Now, we haven't seen Herbie, which is one of those, second place right now, Team Punch Nomies, the big stories of this season. But no eyes on him yet. He's still out racing, probably taking more of that cautious approach, like you said, Croncy doing in the past.
We need to do a couple of updates on the leaderboard. There is one discrepancy in there, but we will make sure that is all clear before we go into finals. But we got a couple more DNFs here with Sky Racing and SPG, as you can see. Oh, what was that? Was that a mid-air collision?
Yeah, that was Kebu on the replay for the DNF. So,
jeez.
Running behind.
Hectic.
Quite unfortunate for Kebu.
We got teams dropping off left, right, and center here. Was always going to be a difficult race. I think teams knew that coming in. And let's see if Big Flex can take this technique all the way to the end. At the moment, he's showing that he can, but let's keep an eye on that. So, how many teams we got left? Logistics. We've lost 6 that I can see.
5, 6. Yeah, so 6 out of 12 so far. We've got 6 remaining. Some of our bigger favorites, Team Punch Nomies, Premier Corps Colonial, I saw out there still. Le Bleu had a bit of a rough start off at the finish line, but looks like they are still in. Prushbringer, we've seen them. Endermaster crash, so Team Catcom there. Yeah, Renlos just had that. Slum, Razor, I think, are the remainder. So Herbie, LeBlue, Crush, Big Flex, Slum, and Razor.
Yeah, the leaderboard's updated. It's reflecting those DNFs there. You can see the bottom half are grayed out, and the top half are white. There are remaining teams. 13 minutes in.
Yeah,
a lot more water here. Should be a bit more speed. So Prushspring is solo, so he's really going to have to. He's not supported. He's going to have to do his switching on his own, I imagine.
Yeah, and based on what we've seen, it would be advantageous to do the vehicle swap, even though it's an optional, maybe a little bit of a slowdown at the finish line. The vehicles we've seen so far are very fragile, and so half of our field already on the DNFs.
Oh, that's very scary. That's very scary.
I've noticed
it'd be interesting, like if
big Nox.
Yeah, the nose dipping.
The nose on the Nox tends to dip down when they're coming off of these lifts. So
yeah. It'll be interesting as teams approach, depending on the split between them approaching the finish line. For instance, Big Flex kind of understanding how much damage, just from how he's been racing, how much damage his Nox is taking, because it's not very well represented in the dashboard for him. But he should have some idea. It is possible that he could let's say he was in second or third, decide at that point, I know that I haven't really taken that much damage. I will risk it. Someone's pitting. I can take a decent distance advantage here. It is something we could probably see going through the start line. For instance, if one of Corp's Colonel 1cc were approaching behind Big Flex, they could make that choice. They could really make that choice and just keep going.
Yeah. See, Big Flex looks like is currently in the lead. That's for Team Amarok's Fang. So they've got to feel pretty good about where they're at. They were fourth position for the overall leaderboard coming into this race. Sire Racing, who was in first position, already eliminated. Catcom with Endermaster, already eliminated. So Punch Nomis, Amarok's Fang working there. Team Tang is still in the running. They were fifth position. Premier Corp Colonial at sixth. Test Squadron's out. SPG Racing's out. Yeah, quite a shuffle here that's going to happen in the points leaderboard after this race. We'll see who gets lined up. Teams 1 through 6 with the overall points. So yeah, we're talking about a spread right now of 8 points to 25 points available for the remaining teams on the field.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to see, the teams that are still racing with us today. I remember seeing Sire Racing in some of our really early videos that we did before the rally was even out. So they've been racing with us since day one, 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago. And it was funny because I saw them make a comment in one of our standard practice videos, and then I jumped in one of their streams while they were doing practice, and we kind of hung out for a bit, and then they had some good lineage with the Daymar Rally, and some hype with Raider Alexis, doing some running to get him a position in the Daymar Rally. So it's still cool to see even people like AAWA who've also been around for a very similar time period.
Yeah, are basically we seeing an overtake happen here?
Yeah, did we?
We can get names on these two racers that went out. That's Big Flex.
Yeah, Prush
is just overtaking there. Yeah, Prush overtaking. So Big Flex doing a conservative approach and holding on. We'll see if Prushbringer can keep it in. But Team Just Prush, really a 11th position so far. I think one of the few remaining teams trying to really push that in. Prush setting it off of the hillside, and we saw this as a big risk.
Let's watch this. Yeah, this is scary. He's good. He's pushing it.
We did see.
You got to make some decisions, though, right?
They had a DNF. Yeah, Team Tang DNF. So that was Slum KH4 not making it happen.
Damn. Yeah, it's been enjoyable watching Team Tang this season, I got to say. I've been watching a bit of Epic's racing. He's been up in the top packs and in most of the races. He's had a really good season from that team. So it's sad to see them get a DNF for this race.
Yeah. And with the risk here, obviously the terrain with a very fragile vehicle, and you mentioned it, getting some scuttlebutt from the teams racing that a fragile vehicle like this on an endurance style race might not be the best combination, but it is a difference maker for those who are able to understand that challenge and respond to it. There we see first eyes on a Razor, who is back in the back of the pack. There is Jack turns around, big flex up near the front, but Prushbringer leading out ahead. Still on the field.
Technically,
Nomies from your Colonial.
Well, technically, if all of these teams just take their time and stay steady right now, they'll all get reasonable points going through this race. So, be interesting to see. Yeah, but it's always scary when they hit a jump and they're coming down. It's always scary. Yeah.
Every time you're puckering just
every time,
just a little bit here.
Yeah.
It's the
other thing about
a very smooth recovery either. It
looks awful.
Hard. Yeah, it doesn't soften that at all. You're right up to the last fragment of a second before it really flattens out. So
yeah, that's the one thing about Bloom, and another reason why I guess we push for this track. I don't know. I know the Nox is pretty fragile. I don't know how many Gravlevs. Obviously, the Dragonfly may have handled this in a different way, but the only way to race in Bloom is really with a Gravlev. As you can see, the terrain's pretty hectic for wheeled vehicles.
Yeah.
That terrain is pretty much all across the entire planet. So yeah, it's a Gravlev only or nothing for Bloom, and we've been dying to do Bloom ever since it came out.
And there we see Herbie, one of the favorites coming into today. Well behind Prushbringer and Big Flex. But it looks like in about third position. We saw a Razor potentially behind. And Lil Blue, we're not quite sure where they're at on the lead or the track yet. But they were, again, had a bit of a slow start.
Well, you can understand why Herbie's doing what he's doing. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Very conservative here.
Mm-hmm.
And the same line that Prush did on this particular terrain feature, this lake that kind of doglegs off to the right.
Yep.
Using that smooth surface to really help ease the transition.
He's about what, 9 kilometers behind? Is that what it says? 9.2 behind Big Flex.
Yeah. I didn't get a number as it was at the right angle there, but
yeah.
Big Flex making a move up.
Prussia's really taken off, eh?
Yeah. Looking behind, see where they're at. And sends 7.4 kilometers back. One of the other camera operators. Yeah, so
7 kilometers back on Herbie is the call. Yeah. Which isn't too bad. Let's for a conservative racing decision, 7 kilometers off of these two teams, because Prush really sent it the last 5-10 Ks. So it'd be interesting to see how Prush goes.
Yeah. Well, and Herbie, of course, trying to keep the endurance here. We've got Sire Racing with the DNF. They're locked in at 8th position, only taking away 4 points for today. Gives Punch Nomies an opportunity to really upset that point differential. They're coming in 96 versus 72 points. So, yeah, a good strategy, especially for a second position team who is very thirsty to put that together for race 6 coming up a little bit later this afternoon, and then race 7 coming up next week. So 75 points on the board, trying to maximize as many as they can.
Yeah, race 3 and 4 really made it difficult to get the points sorted, but we spent a lot of time this week. There is still one error in there I'm going to fix up for the teams, which I think they're aware of, but we'll get that fixed up, make sure that leaderboard is accurate going in there. We'll share all those results from last weekend with the teams too, apart from the points, so they can kind of see where they were at for each race, and then get all that straightened out.
So here
for
we
that
see
race
Herbie
too. I'm actually off
10.5 kilometers behind Prushbringer, from what we can see. 8.5 from Big Flex. So a margin there, but a manageable margin. Sorry, you were going into?
Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah, we'll have to get. I'm going to get a lot of that stuff organized early this week. I'm heading to New Zealand on Wednesday for some time, so I'll need to get that all wrapped up before I leave. So we'll get that done early this week for the teams. FYI.
Mm-hmm. Big Flex making his way up that hillside. A good conservative approach as he goes, so not pushing it too hard, picking a good smart line so you don't launch yourself. Any extra speed you pick up on a vertical area like this really does have a chance to risk, and the vehicle's kind of flying a little sideways. Wondering if that's
that might be a tactic.
There's there's a lot of rocks here.
Yeah, there is a lot of rock. Clearly taking the time to be very cautious.
Coming down on the far side.
Oof,
we've seen some really big
scary.
risks.
That's hard to watch. That's hard to watch.
Oh no, we got a vehicle on the ground. I'm not sure who this is. That's Fat Bird.
This doesn't look good.
That is Crushbringer, who was up ahead, really going to push it. And taking his licks.
I had a vibe.
So,
I had a vibe because he was definitely trying. You know, obviously, Prush wants to get some points here. He's gone past Big Flex with a bit of speed. He was gaining distance on Big Flex.
Oh yeah, that
look at that. Look at that
hard descent really just sent him. Quite unfortunate crush. But hey, you know, a fifth position finish. Gonna put another 10 points on the board. Currently at 17.
Yeah. Well, we got to check if he's over the 25% DNF mark too. Just keep that in mind as well. So because we haven't done 50% yet. So because that will adjust your points as well, your percentage level of race completion. So keep an eye on that too. But I think the tactic to follow is Big Flex.
Yeah, Big Flex there, Herbie behind, Eraser not too far behind that, and Lib Blue from Premier Corps are 4 remaining racers on the track right now. Big Flex on his way up this hillside. And yeah, just a methodical, slow picking your path up this elevation increase.
Yeah, that sideways technique is interesting.
Yeah, could be an interesting strategy. You know, we saw Big Flex using it shortly before Prush got his DNF. Of course, the race isn't over. We've got race number 6 coming up next. So those teams making an approach, trying to get set up for the next race, as that is going to be happening a little bit later. And yeah, the Drake Mule. A slower track, 5 laps, and a heat-based race. So,
yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be a different pace to this one. Well, we got another DNF call with 1cc. popping out there. What does that leave us? That leaves us with 4 teams.
I think that leaves us down to 3, actually.
3 teams,
Punch
yeah,
Nummies,
with Just
Amrox,
Brush
and
as
Drunken
well.
Turtle. So Herbie, Big Flex, and Eraser, who are out on the field to remain.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think, Big Flex hopefully can show us that this track is possible, because without that patience, it's very technical.
Yeah.
Very, very technical, and long for a technical race, unfortunately, which is something that we wouldn't want to do in the future, I will say. But
Yeah.
but we'll see who's got some serious talent and patience when it comes to this track.
Yep. Working through Punch Nummies, Amrox, Fang, Drunken Turtle, first, second, and third place. So 25, 18, or 15 points. Herbie's got to be feeling pretty good. Been running it very conservatively. We see Big Flex there, a few hundred meters off. We'll get an eye on where Herbie is at. Looks like Fatbird might be heading that direction. There's Eraser from Brahms. So let's see. Princenza is 30 kilometers ahead. What I'm seeing, I think Princenza is Herbie. I'm looking for Jack, who's going to be on Herbie in the future. So yeah, Eraser, very, very slow conservative. Good looking approach up this hillside. Yeah, almost technical. You kind of wonder
slow.
if they want to go off to the right side.
Yeah.
Left side here looks like it might be almost as bad. The right side's, very steep with those rocks. The left side's a little bit less steep, but more interruptions.
Yeah.
And there's Herbie with Fatbird.
If AAW stick to their very slow plan, they be chasing these points, because if you look at where they are on the leaderboard, they could really use these points to stay in the contention.
Yeah, and their maximum possible right now, if they win out, they can get up to 83 points. They're currently at 8, but they've got to feel really good about locking in some serious points for really the first time within this season, getting a couple of individual points here and there. 8 points total out of 4 races so far. So
yeah,
mathematically, not able
they
to get
got
up into first position, but still can be in contention for top 3.
Yep. Definitely.
Big Flex there, a couple kilometers ahead. Big Flex doing a very conservative. Yeah, you see Herbie here with his approach.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested to see if they're going to use the pit or they're just going to keep going.
Great look across the terrain here. That yellow and black contrast again. Okay. Looking here. We got Jack Sparrow following him. 3 teams left, 32 minutes into the race. So, not quite a full lap completed yet. Doing their best to get through. And this is, the Marsh Fire Ridge on Bloom, Pyro 3. We started off with 12 teams. We've got 3 left on this endurance-style race with the Alpoa Nox, which should be the fastest vehicle we're working with. But as we can see, the terrain is going to cause some havoc for folks who really want to try and let loose with that vehicle. We saw some areas with scattered lakes that teams were really capitalizing on. Again, we saw some collisions and some issues right off of the beginning as teams came off that plateau with the starting line, getting the ground out from underneath them, and just a little bit too elevated as they were coming down. So I had a couple of crashes off of that.
I think I saw a
And
carry before. I think we're past checkpoint 2 on the way to 3, right?
I believe so, but
I'm just
you guys
confirming.
will be the experts.
Last,
So the
there you
last
go.
three races
Logistics
are
are saying
passed.
last 3. Yep, cool. Cool.
And here's a razor from Team Drunken Turtle. Again, 8 points locked in for them. So continuing their run. Emerald's Fang with Bedflex, who is pretty far ahead, I believe. Herbie out beyond that. And this looks like a little bit more forgiving area, but as we saw, this was where Prush actually had his collision. This type of terrain, so you gotta not get lulled into a false sense of security here. These hillsides are something that'll send you sideways and cause a potential collision. There's just enough rocks to make it dangerous. Here's Fatbird with Herbie.
Yeah, I did think that when I saw Prush's collision area. I'm like, it's very different, and what looks like less rocky, like less large rocky terrain, but he's come undone in that area. So might give people a false sense of security seeing that landscape and going,
just
okay, I can really
look how far away he
hit
is
it
from
here.
Big Flex right now. Herbie less than a kilometer out now. Big Flex really was up ahead. I think Drunken Turtle Eraser is several kilometers behind, but now Herbie looks like he's coming in for first position, just behind Big Flex, who both have been running it pretty conservatively today. You can see Herbie picking his lines left, right, around some of these rocks.
Yeah, he was 7 kilometers behind last time we had good vision on the pair of them. But it is definitely not that now, and he's gone left a little bit, and might be trying to stay out of Big Flex's kind of purview.
Stay off his radar.
Yeah,
we'll see. See Jack Sparrow here. See how far behind they look like. They were pretty close. I think Herbie is just off to the right. Yeah, look at that. That's Fatbird who's hovering over Herbie. Got 13-ish kilometers behind for those markers there. Yeah, potentially our third racer in the track.
Yeah, just getting to the start line at this point is going to be triumphant. And they're going to have this big sense of relief, I'm sure, just getting one lap done. But yeah, kudos to the top 3 at the moment. It looks extremely technical. Yeah. Any lapse in patience is going to be dangerous.
Yeah, it's a long race to have to endure through, but I think those who have the patience to do it, it'll pay off. Big Flex, maybe they've got it. I know Herbie's got it. Eraser, obviously proven. And wow, look at this. The valleys and mountains just opening up. And how far apart they are. Even in third-person view, you can see clearly that they're neck and neck here. With the terrain they're fighting against, with all the other factors, this is that's not a comfortable margin for either one of them.
No, it's good. Makes for good racing. It's cool to see them in the distance as they drop in and out of each valley. Yeah, Big Flex be getting nervous.
It's a good story here, unfolding between Big Flex and Herbie, both kind of neck and neck. more or less. Very close. Herbie having the advantage of being able to see Big Flex's line, deciding whether if he wants to follow the same. Strafing right and left across there. Yeah, that's some interesting maneuvering happening. Kind of slaloming back and forth throughout there.
Yeah, they've got something in their mind when they're making these paths and that sideways strafing. Like that, I think they're identifying particular rocks and making decisions about what they've experienced already. I would say that they've had a bit of practice with this terrain by the sounds of it, because they
Yeah.
are successfully doing fairly well in this terrain. So, from what I can tell, they've practiced enough to identify what is dangerous and what isn't. That sideways, obviously, Herbie and Big Flex have figured out that strafing technique, which might be helping out quite a bit by the looks of it. But yeah, the vision is cool. But what do we got here? Oh, it's a razor. A razor.
Razor was stopped. Now, the one thing that's impressive out here is Brahms with the 15% hydration. That is an aspect we got to worry about the racers too. You know, who's out there and taken care of biologically. We see a razor at 200 meters off.
Yeah, I think with the 5 cams, you can switch it pretty quickly. Like Brahms loses this hydration, I think they'll just be like switch them in and they'll do the trade, which should be fine. But we got a couple other camera crews also stopping for hydration. Yeah.
Brahms on a razor. That bird was on Herbie. Good left-right navigation happening. And this area of terrain is deceptive. It looks rather clear, but it's the baseline shifting in those small ridges. The rocks themselves aren't nearly as much of a risk as just the underlying terrain they're set on.
Yeah, that's very true. Good point.
Making that approach here from a razor.
Yeah, after watching them, you do realize that sometimes those smaller patches of lake are dangerous. The exit, I think earlier on, Ricky Ticky got into a large pool of water, and I don't know if he went under it, and I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, potential landing that I think that could have been maybe an earlier approach where he collided and we just saw the aftermath after a desync or something, because there wasn't a vehicle anywhere nearby. I think that got launched somewhere else. His body ragdolled over into the puddles.
Yeah, because you could see that speed difference. He increased his speed considerably from Big Flex across that last lake before his death. And I think there was a jump at the end, so we may have had some desync where we didn't see exactly what happened with that jump.
Yeah, and here we see Jack Sparrow with the look down the pipe here at Big Flex, who's coming up that hillside, and Herbie, who is 1.1 kilometers behind, just 1,100 meters.
Herbie.
Both pushing very hard for that. Big Flex is in the lead. Herbie is just behind. And Eraser from Team Drunken Turtle wrapping up the 3rd position. I think a few kilometers back. You're looking for Brahms, who's on Eraser. Bird's on
so
Herbie.
what are we looking at? There isn't much distance. There's like a kilometer in it, maybe 1 point.
Yeah, for those two, for sure. That's a very close
because Fatbird's
race.
behind him. Yeah. Yeah.
And Big Flex took a very slow approach down. We see Herbie doing the same, coming off of that hillside.
Yeah, and see this pressure, this pressure on Big Flex is possibly going to force him to make some decisions that that could be dangerous. He may want to increase a little bit and maybe take some more risks here with some of these um, terrain choices. It may be like that pressure. He'll be feeling it. He'll be feeling it.
Hmm.
It's he may make an error. He's just got to stay calm.
See Herbie, 300 meters ahead of camera. Camera's 1200 behind Big Flex. So yeah, Herbie going left, picking his way through these larger terrain features. Some of that fog clearing up there. Wow, look at this green, kind of
Yeah, it's
almost a kaleidoscope tie-dye style terrain features as it
yeah,
snaps in.
yeah, it's cool. A little bit of moss, bit of moss cover, bit of grass.
Yeah.
Definitely cool with the snow cap kind of looking mountains in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, the golden
Yeah,
grass,
golden.
the golden moss that's on top of those black rocks,
Yeah,
the kind of gray in the mid terrain. But really kudos to the environmental artists. This bloom was one of the planets that the moons that they were very happy about. I guess, yeah, technically planet. Yeah.
yeah. I feel like these teams here have the winning. Well, have the winning tactic of to come this far. You think that they can possibly make the whole distance. But I guess you just never know.
Yeah, they've proven they know how to handle the vehicle across the terrain. I think we may see some racers go for that pit stop since there is some durability concern, but the vehicle is maybe fragile enough. They just say to heck with it. We'll risk it and go. But yeah, watch us that slow approach up to the edge of
Yep.
as a racer
Yep.
goes. I think that's the smart approach.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Well, these three races have been System 7 alumni for quite some time. So yeah, everyone's bringing a bit of talent, bit of knowledge. A lot of these teams in the entire 16 teams have prior knowledge. There's a couple of new races in there, but ultimately everyone's got some experience with System 7. And I'm pretty sure the teams that are on the sideline now watching kind of understand that this tactic is very plausible and
Hmm.
maybe regretting some decisions. But hey, there's also the starting grid's always a bit of a lottery. It's at some point it's very difficult, especially in the middle of the grid. You can't stop and you can't go forward too quickly. It's a difficult time to be in the start of the grid. I mean, the middle of the grid.
Yeah. Here we see Jack Sparrow behind Big Flex. They're working their way through. I don't see Herbie out in front of him, so it looks like Big Flex maintains the lead for the short term. Herbie's got to be really chomping at the bit to get ahead there. And as if requested specifically, Jack Sparrow gives us a little bit of a distance view. Get an idea of how far apart folks are. And yeah, Herbie right there just behind. These two duking it out for position. Fatbird who's following Herbie just behind Big Flex. Yeah, this green moss area. Looks like we're coming in about
All
9
right.
kilometers away from the lap.
Yeah, just got some updates from logistics. So we're definitely past checkpoint 3 on our way to start line with only 9 kilometers to go, like Red mentioned. So start line's not far away. So it's going to be interesting to see if that pit choice is made. Um, but yeah, we're looking at 48 minutes on the clock for lap
Yeah,
1. So that's crazy. I
lap
think
one,
I think
big
that's
flex and
slower than
Herbie.
predicted. Yeah.
Yeah, Big Flex and Herbie are definitely going slower and more methodical. We see this kind of crab sideways rock or run. So
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what AWA do here because obviously they've got the terrain down pat with the way that they should be racing, and if they want to gain some distance on these two teams, if these top two teams, Punch Nomies and Emrock's Fang, if they check in at pit, be interesting to see if AWA make the decision to not pit and race past them if
and
possible, or at least
try and
gain
make
some
up some of
distance.
that gap.
Yeah.
We see Herbie crab walking his way up this rather large mountainside.
We may not see any teams pit because they all may want to keep their current position. Like if you can imagine Big Flex pitting now and Herbie not pitting, and him just trusting his technical ability, and then just going straight through and just taking the risk on the second lap.
I see Herbie came to a
God, it's gonna
complete
be
stop there and was looking
yeah.
around trying to pick a line.
Yep. Yeah, he was definitely. Yeah, it's very hilly there, which is pretty freaky. But all right, we're up at the start line here, looking back because we have Big Flex coming through. Where's Herbie?
Yeah.
Herbie's changed.
Herbie's
I don't
right
see any
behind.
Herbies. Where?
Yeah.
Next to Fatbird?
Herbie's just below Fatbird. Doesn't have a party
Okay.
marker for Jack Sparrow here. So Big Flex
Yep.
and Herbie both working on the
I
the
see.
approach ramp up to the
I see.
plateau.
Thanks, Jack. Oh man, Herbie's pushing it right now. He's gonna look
Yeah,
at this.
they're
All right, this is
neck and
interesting. Right
neck.
next to each
Wow.
other. That's pretty cool. All right, on that up ramp towards the start line, Herbie's passed. He's pushing it a bit
Wow.
faster than usual. So
Yeah, Herbie
is he
is
doing the
definitely
pit?
sending. Got up ahead of Big Flex, who is
I don't
doing
think he's. I don't
conservative.
think
Big
he's
Flex
pitting.
is slow.
I don't think he's pitting. I don't think he's pitting. The Starfarer is in a pretty terrible spot, to be honest. He's not
There we
pitting.
see Herbie.
He's going straight through.
Yeah,
He's going straight through. This is going to
now
force Big
Herbie-
Flex to make a decision.
officially completing lap 1. Heading down this train. We got Fatbird here on Herbie up at the front position.
This is
Big
dangerous,
Flex may
isn't
be
it?
pitting.
Oh, so nerve-wracking. Jesus Christ.
And we got,
Yeah,
this is race 5, 1 lap done. Race 6 coming up here later on this afternoon. That's going to be the Saccharine Gauntlet over on Pyro 4.
All right, what's Big Flex doing? What was his decision? Let's find
Yeah,
out,
looks
shall
like he
we?
was
Because
pitting.
there's no, yeah.
Okay, Big Flex with Jack Sparrow. Looks like they are moving. Okay. Wonder how far back our Razor's doing on their first lap. Punch Nomi is up in the first position.
That is quick. God, look at the speed difference, eh? Oh,
yeah.
God, that's scary. That's scary. That's cool, though. You got those little gaps between the legs. So Big Flex has not pitted either.
All right, we see Fatbird up ahead. 2 kilometers or so. Big Flex here. Yeah, competing lake runs there between Big Flex and Herbie. Herbie, I'd say, about 1,400 meters ahead. Picking a clean line through some of these. Oh, looks like a little bit of a desync there. So, pretty close. Big Flex going to the left. Herbie taking a little bit more to the right. Okay, Herbie did get completed first. Big Flex looks like not counted for the lap just yet, but yeah, has completed. We're not quite sure where Eraser is at with the positioning there. Was back behind a little bit. Herbie right, Big Flex to the left. Brahms, who was on Eraser. Oh no, this does not look good. We had a possible DNF from Eraser near that. Where's Brahms at? Waiting for it. It's tough to say. It's a good looking rock there. Not seeing any party markers or a vehicle there in front of Brahms, who was tracking Eraser. It looked like a difficult area to potentially get hung up. So we see there Fat Bird, who is just behind Herbie. And Jack Sparrow, who is on Big Flex. Looking around. A lay of the land. Maybe losing the vehicle there. Going over to replay here. This is Eraser. Oh, coming up right over the corner of that terrain. Hits some rocks. That is rough. There, yep. What's left of the marker on the far side of that rock. That is unfortunate. So Eraser down, leaving us two Punch Dummies and Big Flex. Looks like Jack was able to re-find Big Flex within that. They're battling out for first place, and second place is the last two racers on the track today. Yeah, Big Flex got passed up right near the end. Herbie had a little bit straighter line into the finish line, and yeah, Big Flex looks like he's ahead right now. Both are taking competing lines. Herbie had not kind of gone a little bit right versus Big Flex, who's gone left. They look like they're running the same line right now. Just one lake, one puddle behind each other. Big Flex up and ahead. Yeah, really making great use of the lake portion of this terrain. And coming up after the lakes, up past that caterpillar for the checkpoint. And there we go. We see Punch Dummies, Amrock's Fang, 1 and 2. Drunken Turtle Eraser with the DNF there. Big Flex leading right now, but Punch Dummy is completing lap 1 first. Moving ahead, trying to take advantage of all of the lake terrain. You can kind of send full speed across, not having to worry about the terrain launching you sideways. But yeah, switching out from that over water to the over terrain. All Big flex. Bit of a lead. See how far behind Herbie is.
Oh, AWA, yeah, did I miss that?
Yeah, the Drunken Turtle Racing, they had a DNF coming up before they finished lap 1.
Okay.
So, yeah, on a uphill
Doing it.
vertical. Quite unfortunate.
Yeah, that is. Damn.
As we watch Jack Sparrow try and recover the party marker for Big Flex up in the front. Utilizing this lake terrain. Quite the contrast and good lighting so far. And kind of coming up into midday here on Bloom.
Yeah, plenty of light. Plenty of light. So no switches for Herbie or Big Flex. Or did Big Flex switch? Big Flex switched.
Yeah, I think neither of them switched vehicles.
Okay.
All right, there's Big Flex.
Yeah, well, Herbie definitely gained some confidence midway through that first lap, and increased his speed.
Yeah, I think right now they're battling for 25 versus 18 points, based on maybe who was able to survive the race. We saw Herbie pull out a few stops at the end of lap 1.
Yeah. Well, even if they can get a 75%, that'd be extremely helpful. Currently, they're at 50%. So if they're both DNF at this point, they haven't made the 75% mark yet. So they need to keep pushing.
Here we go, Fatbird running behind Herbie. See, making some good approaches there. Off into this.
Yeah, it'd be
rock
interesting to
field.
see. Be interesting. They must have also made decisions on their fuel as well. As they pass the start line, they would know after the lap 1 what they can and can't do for lap 2. So they both seem safe on that front as well. So I'm assuming they can get all this done with just the one vehicle, which is cool.
Yeah, and we are an hour into race number 5 for System 7. This is the Marsh Fire Ridge on Bloom Pyro. Out of the 12 teams off the starting line, only 2 have remained up to this point. Everyone else having collisions, explosions, recording their DNFs as they work on that now. There is a second part of today's racing event. We're heading into race number 6, which is Saccarine's Gauntlet. That's a heat-based race with the Drake Mule. It'll be 4 players in a 2x2 grid. 3 separate heats to start. I'm sure the 10 racers who've already DNF'd for this one are over there getting prepared and ready, trying to do their best for their heats in the Persistent Universe and StarCitizen. Herbie putting on a little bit of speed there. Trying to pick a couple of lines that work for him. And a great looking view here. See Big Flex, 2.6 kilometers. Fatbird, who was right behind Herbie. Looks like they've got about a 4-kilometer separation of this.
Yeah, permanent gains from Herbie. Moving forward, let's see if they can make it on this one vehicle. Yeah, I'm surprised actually that no one switched. Is a little bit surprising, I think.
If
even for Big Flex.
Yeah, if they've got the fuel to do it, I think it makes sense. These vehicles don't survive more than one collision. So if it was a little bit more durable vehicle that had 2 or 3 hits to it, maybe, you know, you've rolled the dice once or twice already, get a new vehicle for that second lap. Oh no, that's Jack Sparrow on Big Flex.
Oh,
Watching as Big Flex does have that terrain collision, as we were just talking about it. It doesn't, yeah, not a very durable vehicle. So one bad line there, and that puts Jack Sparrow
damn.
second place, Big Flex second space for that team. And that was, yeah, quite unfortunate. So Amarok's Fang, our
Yeah,
second
I'm interested.
position finish, was up ahead.
I'm wondering if micro damage was untrackable for Big Flex
Mm.
and maybe that switch was deemed necessary. Damn, hey. Well,
Oh, that is
let's see how far Nomi's can get.
unfortunate. Yep. Well, we got eyes on Herbie where he's at. See Fatbird and Herbie there. Those third-person
One racer in
views
it.
as Herbie comes across the terrain.
Well,
Nice
see,
strategy
now he
for
knows
you.
he's in first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Knows
Yeah,
he's first.
they've
You
got a
definitely
feeling.
want to make that 75% and get maximum points and then, you know, we'll see what he does.
Yeah, really
Might take some more
letting
risks.
it rip across that water.
Mm.
And, you know, it was a pretty quiet start to the race from Herbie. He slowed down and was, you know, back kind of midway through the pack. Didn't really push very hard, and you know, with the number of DNFs, he's the last man standing on this track. You know, the endurance track
Yeah.
here, one of the big challenges, especially with a vehicle that's a little bit more fragile than others.
Yeah. Well, there's a good water stretch here. He's gunning it. He took that. It was interesting. You see him take that jump off the back end, but he jumped into another lake, knowing that he could do that, which was interesting. So
Yeah, he's picking his
he
lines.
slowed
He's
down
probably
here.
just showing off now.
There is less risk because he's definitely first, but it is still about that 75% maximum points.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Skyer Racing Team relegated to position 8 based on their DNF and you know, overall progress if they get points. But Team Punch Nomies, Herbie, you know, they had a really upsetting race day 1. Races 1 and 2 both had DNFs, so a little bit of redemption for them. This is really going to complicate the leaderboard overall scoring as they get that locked in. So moving into race 6, coming up in a few minutes. You know, the team's going to be very curious about where their positioning's at, and you know, trying to get the additional points locked in.
Yeah. Big Flex, I don't know, technically probably isn't too upset. He's got above the 50% mark. He's got second position on this track. So, you know, it's not bad for them at all, really. They needed maximum points technically on this track to get some decent placement. That's if they win consecutive races as well. So yeah, it's yeah. So obviously, we've done 50% of the course. 75% is almost checkpoint 2. It's it's a little bit after. It's between 2 and 3. So yeah, we've got a little bit of racing to do.
Yeah, and you kind of up to Herbie to lock that in.
Yeah, if he hits checkpoint 3, we know that he's definitely got the 75% locked in. Ricky Ticky having some issues on this first checkpoint. So let's see.
One racer left, trying to get to that 75% track.
There's also his hydration level too, right? So no, he didn't stop in pit. Didn't get another drink, and didn't replace his vehicle. So everything's working against him right now. As he continues to race, we've already seen 2 camera crew members replace their hydration. That could have been because they weren't full at the start, which is totally fine. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's an hour and 8 minutes without a hydration, continuous play. So that might put him out of the race as well.
Yeah. Now here's some interesting math. Looks like we've got the call. Herbie has officially done the 75%. So that, I think, is going to be a bit of an upset on the leaderboard here. There was a 24-point separation between Sire and Punch Nomies, depending on how the points are distributed, what's awarded. Yeah.
I thought it was chip on 1. He's cruising. Yep. Checkpoint 2. He's flying then this lap. That's interesting.
Oh, he knows it. He's got the points locked in. It's just just killing time, getting himself ready to, hoping for a finish here, probably. But the remaining teams getting set up over, hopefully at race number 6 to get those heats started.
Yeah, so they'll be set up over there now. This might not be going on for too much longer. I would have assumed Herbie would have had some hydration issues, and not doing a pit lane stop is pretty risky.
Yeah, we'll see. Beautiful terrain we're covering across here.
What's your favorite terrain, man? Where would you build a track?
Where I'd build a track? Ooh, yeah, there's
I won't put that on you,
quite a lot of areas, Monarchs or Pyro 1.
Yeah, Monarchs
with Pyro 1 and some of the interesting geological features they've got there. If there could be a good area you've got that track running from. Something clear between that terrain would be pretty interesting. I'm actually, very interested in what the planets are going to look like for Nyx. What they get us on the terrain side, because that's going to be the newer Genesis planet tech, right?
Yeah, it'll be good because we can move away from Levki and do something else in that system. But yeah, we saw those preview photos of the terrain, that preview video, sorry, of the terrain coming to Nyx, and yeah, they're definitely bringing in some new, there's some Spire type kind of terrain. It's going to be different. Some nice new colors as well, which is cool. What about your favorite track so far for this season, or do you think might be coming up? What do you think?
Yeah, as far as my favorite track from this season, I mean, I did like Dead Man's Hook in Arena Commander. I felt like that had a good combination of speed, dependability for the vehicles, not having the terrain risk that we've seen here on race 6. But there was that technical challenge with the little kickstand area that splint, kind of splinter that we saw. Teams having to really manage their speed on that turnaround and not lose all of their momentum. So I think that was a good combination of being able to go full speed, and then also rewarding good speed management for a tight turn. Probably my favorite, but the one I'm looking forward to most is Volcano Lake for sure. It's always a very interesting endurance race, and you get some interesting dynamics with the ground vehicles going along those lakes. So
yeah, Volcano I thought was pretty enjoyable. Last year, I remember testing it and designing it the first time around. I thought it was actually fun to race because of the terrain. There's not a lot of obstacles as far as that, especially on that first half. But obviously the islands are their own obstacle, and having the bridge is an interesting aspect of it. I really enjoyed race 4. Dead Man's Hook was cool with the technical. Well, technically there's 2 little technical portions. There's that first little corner and around that island, and then you got the hook itself, which is fun because I had to do some testing in there as well. That hook is actually pretty fun, and you can manage your turns pretty
Saw
consistently.
quite a
I thought I
yeah, saw yeah, I was gonna say we saw quite a few overtakes happen there, based on teams
mm,
just understanding a little bit better speed
yeah.
management, not overshooting as they go through that.
Yeah, yeah. That track definitely needs that opportunity to do that because there is a lot of straights, and only a couple of corners. So having an opportunity to get closer to races is definitely important on that
Hmm.
track. But yeah, it's really good. I really enjoyed the hook portion of it. It's what you can consistently manage that hook pretty well with just a little bit of practice. It doesn't take too much. It's good. Probably definitely my favorite this season. I am looking forward to race 6 as well. I actually enjoy racing at Saccharines Gauntlet. I think it's an improvement
Yeah,
on what was Jackson's Gauntlet, so I'm really looking forward to it. I love the outpost in the canyon. It's really visually quite cool as well. So yeah.
yeah. The new terrain they've added over there is rather unique. As I mentioned, I had gone out and done some mining missions in the last week or so, and yeah, some of these outposts now have large rock columns over the top of them, so you can't even really fly in. You've got to park yourself and then walk in, almost cave-like, for these what were originally surface outposts. We see Herbie taking some speed
Hmm.
here, getting a bit of a launch. He knows he's in position, just trying to get this lap closed out. But yeah, past
Yeah.
checkpoint too, so the 75% mark has been achieved, and
Yep.
just
Should be
trying to
clear
lock
at this
in
point. Yep.
another lap.
I'm interested to see how quick this lap is versus his first lap. Um, I think it's already considerably quicker. So
Yeah,
yeah.
he's definitely sending it with a little bit more aggression here.
Yep.
And really there's no reason not to. He's got what would be a fastest lap already locked in, completing that first
Yep.
lap ahead of Amarok's Fang. So a bonus point
Yep.
there. Really not anything to worry about up to this point. They're securing all of those points. Depending on how the other points get awarded, this could be a big shakeup at the leaderboard right now. And already, based on who had DNFs early, some of the top 4, top 5 uh, getting sent back.
Yeah. Yep. We're going to take a little pause after this race. Most of the teams are getting set up now for race 6 anyway. We're just got to get these last 3 teams over, or maybe 2 teams at this point. AAWA have had some time. We'll take a little bit of a pause. We'll get the points structured for the season so that we can grid position the heats and have the correct heat positions in place. We do have one little leaderboard fix up I've got to amend before we do that too. So
Yeah.
take a little bit of a break in the middle
Uh,
there, a bit of an intermission. Yeah.
yeah, the live environment, these races with the dynamic shifts that happen. I do have some other personal commitments, so I may not be around for the heats during race number 6, but it's been good participating with the broadcast booth. Again, System 7, one of my favorite events out there. Number of racers we get to see, opportunities for some great showmanship, and yeah, some of the top racers out there, uh, showing you exactly why they've earned that title.
Yeah, Red, thanks for jumping on, mate. If we don't get to see you, big thank you from the ATMO Esports team for everything so far. Really appreciate it. It's good to have some commentators come on board and hang out with the team
Mhm.
that we don't see all the time, all year. So it's really appreciate it, mate.
Yeah, we get race number 6, and then yeah, I'll be back here next week for race number 7, the finale at Volcano Lake. I'm looking forward to that one as well. That's on Faro with a combination of Link, Cyclone, and yeah, a longer track, getting some pride points maybe, and depending on how
Mhm.
the race 6 goes, could be some still close competitions there in the middle of the pack. So
Yeah. Yeah, the heats last weekend were great. It was very exciting. I like did get the comment about the splash up on the X1 visor screens, but honestly, eh, you know, I didn't. I felt when I was racing it, that was just kind of like part of the terrain technical racing part of the event itself. I thought it was actually fun to race like that. I know that you got to do a bit more third person, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the challenges you get to deal with. We saw on the Levki Helix a lot of racers, because of lighting conditions, were having to use that ping with the dynamic terrain highlighting pretty frequently. Getting through
Yeah.
the narrower corridors. Fortunately, that was a little clean
Yeah.
race. Only, I think, 1 or 2 DNFs.
Yeah, we had I had a couple of like tickets put in for some penalty discussion on some people crossing the land, but people had to like be on land for a full second before those penalties would kick in. And we were talking split. Even the longest one that I thought had occurred was still only 0.16 of a second, which was very, very
Yeah.
quick. So no one copped any penalties for any land crossings last weekend on race 4. Yeah, it's very very narrow margins when they're trying to get around those corners, and yeah, Dead Man's Hook makes that a little bit more difficult as well. But everyone was pretty successful in regards to that as far as penalties for last weekend.
You see Herbie continuing out the course. Crab walking up the side with this elevation. What a beautiful view here. Mid-afternoon sun, mid-afternoon daylight. And wow, really sending it down that hillside.
Sure is. Yeah, plenty of light. Hey, doesn't the shadows have changed a little bit? You can see it's changing on the other side of the moon, but yeah, it's a large moon. It's quite big. You get a lot of time with the daylight.
See, heading right over the top of the water and just getting it sent.
I have to get some checkpoint 3 status forward to us on the back end there. Let us know.
Okay. Heading off across the terrain. Making the best of approach. See some of those larger rocks he's passing by.
Yep.
One racer remains on the course, just going for a completion here. Already passed the 75% mark for the race, so points will be distributed based on that. And gotta say, Amrock's Fang, big flex, good performance there. Drunken Turtle Racing, Eraser, Premier Court Colonial with Le Bleu Pyrus, Just Brushbringer, Team Tang. We had Slum Cage HK4, SPG Racing, Kabakadesu. Oh, there we go. Herbie sends it into a wall right there on the vertical approach. And that is a wrap for race 5.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. So yeah, no one completed, but we do have our top position with 75% of completion. Herbie DNF. All right, we should have some vision coming up soon of race 6, yeah? We're going to take a hiatus between this race and race 6, and we're going to get points ready for grid positions for the heats, get that stuff underway. But yeah, kind of predicted that we were going to have some DNFs this week with race 5, and 100% DNFs.
Yep.
Crazy.
A lot of DNFs, but hey, you know what? The strategies that paid off, being more conservative on the approach. Those teams that really sent it, they spent it, right? That was that was a tough start for a lot. The ones that stuck around. Oh, and here got our view here. That, friends, that is race number 6, Saccarine's Gauntlet.
Yeah, it's looking good. All right, we're going to take a break, and I'll be right back with you. I think Red, you're going to be around. Or you got a cruise for
Yeah,
your
I'll be
event today, mate?
departing here. But yeah, thanks. Appreciate being part of the broadcast team. Appreciate all the great camera views, our behind the scenes folks here, Enigmatic in the production booth, keeping us fed with video, some context, and yeah, all the team with ATMO. Appreciate it. It's been a pleasure being part of the races today. I'm excited to be back here for next week on the finale on the season 7.
Appreciate it, Red. See you in the final, bro.
Oh.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line in one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 7 2956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair. Unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in Stream Deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line, one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 72956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair. Unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in stream deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line in one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 72956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair, unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in stream deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line in one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 72956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair, unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in Stream Deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle, Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line in one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 72956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Virgo Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair, unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in Stream Deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line, one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 72956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Virgo Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair, unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in Stream Deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line, one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 72956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair, unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in Stream Deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, Across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line in one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 72956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official StarCitizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair, unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in Stream Deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line in one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 72956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Virtual Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair, unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in stream deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line in one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 72956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair, unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in Stream Deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle, fueled by dedication. It is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line, one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 7 2956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair, unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in stream deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line in one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 7 2956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair, unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in Stream Deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line in one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
System 72956 is brought to you by Monster Tech. Transform your gaming experience with innovative, high-quality simulation equipment designed to enhance performance and immerse you in every virtual adventure. Pigeon Spaceport, bringing ships to life with beautifully crafted official Star Citizen model kits designed for fans, collectors, and pilots who want a piece of the verse on their desk. Verbal Controls, delivering precision-engineered flight simulation hardware that elevates your cockpit experience with unmatched realism and control. Corsair. Unlock total command with the Galleon 100 keyboard, a high-performance keyboard with a built-in Stream Deck. From landing gear to engine shutdowns and custom macros, everything Star Citizen pilots need is right at their fingertips.
We are ATMO Esports. We set the bar and cross the finish line. Being the absolute best isn't a gift. It's a lifestyle. Fueled by dedication, it is the ability to push past your breaking point, time and time again. That is why we're here. Join us in conquering the most unforgiving environments the verse has to offer. Unite under our banner to become what you were meant to be. Against all odds, stand victorious amongst the legends. Citizens from across the known systems, from all walks of life, across the criminal spectrum, the fiercest competitors will compete in the most remote locations. Only determination, your trusted craft, and luck can carry your team across the finish line in one piece. Become a champion. Or ride the sidelines to support your favorite team, cheering them to victory. Racing is in our blood. We are ATMO Esports. We're built for this. Are you? Visit atmo.gg to learn more.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are preparing for race 6, as you can see. We are now at Saccarine's Gauntlet, Saccarine's lot. So we're just getting camps ready. We've got almost our races on the start line ready to roll. Sorry about the intermission and the hiatus. We obviously had to transfer in the PU to a different position here. We also had to collate all of our points, including the DNF percentages. So if you're not aware, we do have like a 25%, 50%, and a 75% DNF completion, which can adjust your points depending on how far along in the course that you did. Being that we didn't have anyone actually complete and we had one DNF at 75%, we just had to make sure that all those points were good. We then had to calculate those points across the entire season and collate all of that. And then that's determined who races in which heat. So we do have our first heat getting ready. We have Skya Racing Team, Punch Nomies, Catcom, and Amarok's Fang Racing in this first heat, with Neojet representing Skya, Herbie representing Punch Nomies, and Endermaster representing Catcom, with also Dark Hour representing Amarok's Fang for Heat 1. So as you can see on the start line there, we've only got one more racer to go, and then we can get this underway. Along the course, we have our checkpoints and cams. If we have a look at the map in a second, I can point those out for you, and we can have a little bit of a chat about the track itself and the key points along the course. It's a grid position of 2 by 2, with the top left corner being our first grid position based on placement points. And then it's a 5-lap course as well, so we'll be doing 5 laps per heat. And as you can see up there at the start line, as you turn that first bend, there is a rock circled there. That's your first checkpoint corner before you head up the incline to the plateau. Racers must pass through these 2 rocks circled first, and then they must pass again at these 2 second rocks here with the larger rock there. That will bring them down into another incline down towards the last checkpoint. Now, the rock position on that last incline is a bit wider than initially created. We're giving them a little bit more option as far as how they want to approach that last incline down before the checkpoint. So there's some choices to be made there. You can cut it on the inside and do a slower incline, or you've got the jump option as well on the further right. But in my opinion, that's pretty risky. Down on the last checkpoint there as well, we have the last corner before going into the straight. We have a little outpost there. Has a fence on the outside of the corner itself, and you can go inside that fence or around that fence as pictured in the map itself. But yeah, it's up to you. It really depends. I've raced it quite a few times, getting some footage and obviously testing the track myself. It is actually not too bad to go on the inside of that little fence there. You can do it. You just got to get your approach correct, and you can kind of cruise through there pretty cleanly. Just to put this on everybody's radar, people can put down their front gator, and they can kind of create some stability with the mules there. You might see some of the racers utilizing that front little gator on the mule to give them some more stability. There is a couple of little hidden, unseeable terrain rocks that you can bump into. But if racers have gone and practiced this track, it's actually quite easy to know where they are and avoid them. There's not too many of them, but there is, in my mind, there's 2 particular ones that I needed to avoid when I was doing track testing. So with any luck, everyone's had enough time to practice this track. This track did come in late in the season. There was a patch update which changed the terrain from our previous Jackson's Gauntlet on Monarchs. We had to change that out and replace it with this new track, which in my opinion, I actually prefer. The whole outpost canyon section is very nice and very cool. The road itself, there's an actual natural road in there with the dog leg, and this nice little gate here for the heats. So yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the track, and we got some more footage here from our beautiful camera team, and looks like we're gonna get ready to race. I'll just gonna jump into my broadcast ticket here. I'm just not quite in there, and then we'll see what logistics is doing on the back end there. We've got some info coming through. We're going to see when the countdown comes through, and we're going to check this race out. So once again, we got Neojet, Herbie, Endermaster, Dark Owl all racing in this first heat. Those are positioned based on their total standings for the entire season. So, looking good here. We've got Princesna Foxy doing cameras here for us on this beautiful footage. Big shout out to the entire racing team here. We've got Broms out there. We got logistics. We got Fordsworth. We got Stealth out there too, helping with logistics. We got Gloomy Gun on checkpoints. We got Phila Raves. We've got Misty did some footage for us. Fatbird's doing some more footage, as you can see here. Red Monster did some casting for us today. Thanks, Red Monster, for jumping on the stream. He'll be at the finals, casting the finals as well. I know that there's some more people on the back end there as well too. But yeah, looks like races are ready. Logistics has just forwarded that information, and we're going to get